making 10K a month is hard unless you productize yourself. See, I used to mow lawns for a living, and I used to get paid by the hour, basically. I used to get paid for my time. I was trading time for money. And then I figured out how to start getting paid for my ideas, for my knowledge, for my expertise, and ultimately for being myself. So here's the trap that I fell into, right? So I just like you, I fell into the selling my time trap, right? I did that in a 9-to-5 for many years. Then when I had a gardening business, I would sell my time, got paid by the hour. And eventually when I got into coaching, doing this thing that I'm doing now, I also traded time for money. What do I mean? Well, when I first started, I was doing one-to-one work. And if I wasn't doing one-to-one coaching, I was also doing some copywriting as well and some marketing for people on the side, which meant that every time I got paid, it was for showing up, and I only got paid if I showed up, right? And this is, I think, a trap that a lot of people fall into, is they still think that if they get paid for showing up, but that they enjoy the work a bit more, it's just a better job or whatever, or it's a better role, or now they're coaching instead of copywriting, or now they're coaching instead of doing remote sales or whatever it is, that somehow they've reached the next level. And actually for me, you know, I realized even when I was coaching people one-to-one, I still was trading time for money. I got paid for showing up. And that was, for me, that was a problem. And so I kind of got stuck in this position where, although I wasn't necessarily charging an hourly rate for coaching, I only got paid if I turned up. And then I thought, well, surely there's got to be a better way here. Like, surely there's got to be a better way to turn my knowledge and turn my expertise and turn what I'm giving people, turn this into something with more leverage, turn this into something with more scale. And that was when I didn't really know how to do it. That was the problem. I was like, how am I going to go from selling one-to-one? Because let's say, for example, all right, I was a gardener trading time for money. I was then a copywriter because I got pretty good at copywriting. I was trading my time for money again. Then when I became a coach, I was sort of helping people one-to-one. I got paid, but basically one-to-one for coaching people. So I got paid for turning up. And if I wasn't there, you know, if I didn't turn up, there was no service. There was nothing. There was no value being provided. I didn't know how to do it, and that was when I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to help more people. I want to add more leverage to my business. I want to have more freedom. I want more scale. But how do I do it? And that was when I took a risk. I basically burned the boats. I said, you know what? I'm going all in, and I basically bought into my first real coaching program, my first in-person group coaching program. It wasn't in person, sorry, my first like live coaching program where I was actually in a coaching group, and I saw how they ran it, and I saw how they did everything. And it was like 2K, and it was 2K I didn't really have. But here's what happened, right? In the first month, because I was struggling to grow my social media following before that, I joined that group, and I went from, I think I'd gained 250 followers in something like 6 months on Twitter. When I joined that group, my follower count pretty much exploded from 250, took me like 6 months to get there, to over 1,000 within a month. I like basically, I'd like 10x my, I'd 5x my progress. So that was number one. Number two was the following month, I monetized my audience, as in I went from one-to-one coaching and I launched a group program, which made 8K. And the cool thing about that group program was I was still delivering, it was the same amount of time to deliver per day, per week, as serving one client, except for I was serving 8. So I was getting 8 clients for one in terms of my output. So now I was scaling, now I had leverage. The problem was that I didn't really, still a beginner to doing one-to-many, so I didn't set it up perfectly, but it doesn't matter that it wasn't perfect. What I'd done is I'd unlocked the next level of my coaching. I'd unlocked the next level of my business, which was I can now sell to many people. And what I did is I had this productized version of my knowledge, my service, where I could build it once and serve pretty much unlimited people. It's pretty cool. So anyway, I'd figured this out. And once I figured this out, I just kept going. I didn't stop doing one-to-one on the side. Well, on the side, it's always going to be part of what I'm doing. I didn't stop doing one-to-one. What I did was I figured out ways to scale the group, this community that I had built, my online program. And once I really figured out how to systematize it and how to make it better, within a few months, I think it was like 7 months after going in on that cohort, and investing in myself, and I also invested in some more mentors. With the money I was earning from my increased income from the group programs, I invested in more mentors. They showed me how to unlock more scale, how to unlock more revenue in my business, and yeah, a few months later I hit my first 15K month, which was a really good feeling. And that was when I realized that, okay, I'm definitely doing the right thing here. I'm definitely on the right track. And then it didn't really stop there. It didn't stop there either. So what happens in this game is when you figure something out, you sell the solution. That's what productizing yourself is. It's figuring things out, things you struggle to achieve, and then packaging up the solution and selling it. So once I'd figured this out, I had people messaging me saying, they didn't just want coaching in terms of like growing the audience. They wanted, which is the thing I was offering before, like marketing themselves, etc. They were now like, how are you launching these group programs? Like, how are you scaling? How are you adding more leverage? Because I'm stuck in one-to-one, or a lot of these people, like the perfect example, I talk about him quite a lot, is Matt. So when Matt came to me, he saw that I was unlocking this new leverage in my business. He saw that I was scaling to 15K months, and he was like, okay, this is legit. I'm going to reach out to him. And he said, look, I've got this business right now. It's struggling a bit. I'm having a bit of a tough time. Are there any other ways to unlock some more revenue? And I said, why don't you launch a group coaching? Like, you've already got all these customers and clients that are coming into your recording studio. Why don't you, and you've got a brand. He only had about 2,000 followers, to be fair. But you've got this brand. Why don't you launch a group coaching? Like, I managed to scale to 15K a month, and I have less than 5,000 followers. You have a whole business, brick and mortar business with customers to contact. You also have a very strong personal brand on Instagram. Why don't we just launch a group program for the business? Anyway, luckily, Matt is an action taker, and that's the thing. I'm done with people that don't take action, because people that take action, all they need is support and some guidance. They don't need hand-holding. They get things done. They're always the people who get the best results. Anyway, that's a side tangent. Matt got to work, and because he takes action, and because he followed exactly what I suggested, the plan, the strategy that we came up with, which is also the 3-hour system that I teach inside Productise Yourself. This is really where the blueprint was born. I was like, I can do it for me, but can I do it for others? Matt took the 3-hour system, which I wrote initially on the back of a napkin, implemented it, and within well, I can't remember how many weeks it took to build the thing, but it took about 2 weeks to build the offer and launch it. Within 3 weeks, he'd made 20K. And he actually launched it in a 5-day window and made 20K in 5 days, 8 clients. So I said at the beginning, 10K a month is hard when you don't until you productize yourself. Well, what Matt had done is he productized what he knew, which was he had a recording studio, so he launched a teach you to become a DJ and become a professional DJ, or rather become a paid DJ. That was the offer in their coaching program. He turned his business into an info product, productized himself, and he made 20K in 5 days. 20K in 5 days. So I'm at the beginning of this video, I just said, 10K a month is hard until you productize yourself. Matt productized himself, made 20K in 5 days. I took my brand to 15K a month, and Connor as well, who's another one of my best case studies, we took him from 0 to 13K a month. He packaged up his sales skill. He was doing high ticket sales. We packaged it up into a sales training offer, launched it within 3 or 4 months. He'd started generating 13K a month. And then now, I think we were talking the other day, I think his biggest month was $47,000 in a single month. And I was chatting with him yesterday. Bear in mind, we stay in touch. I was chatting with him yesterday, and he did a $14,000 day selling the product that we came up with together, his sales training. Someone calling my attention over there. So the point I'm making is 10K a month is hard until you productize yourself, because if you're selling one-to-one, you need 5 clients paying you $2,000 each to reach 10K a month. That's if you're doing one-to-one. If you're offering a service, or if you have a business right now, how many customers do you need to get 10K a month? Probably quite a few. And if you are hitting 10K a month, I bet you're trading time for money. Whereas when you productize yourself, and this is one thing I didn't say about Matt and Connor and myself, is when you build a product that scales without you, you build it once and you can deploy it forever. So imagine you've got this one single product, you build it, people are paying you 2 to 6K a pop, and what that means is once the product's built, you're selling it for 2 to 6K a pop. You can just keep adding clients to it. The product's already built. You can just keep pouring clients in, and if they're paying you 2 to 6K just to access it, you need, let's say you're selling it for 5K. You need 2 clients a month to make 10K a month. Now, let's say you follow the 3-hour system that I give my clients, which is building the 2 to 6K offer. That's first step. Step 2 is creating content that sells, not just content that goes viral, not just content that gets views, not just content that looks pretty and builds your brand and makes people laugh, like content that actually translates into sales, attracts the right audience. Because all you need is 1,000 true fans. 1,000 true fans, die-hard people, even 1,000 people paying you $100 a month. That's $100,000 a month. Or you have an audience of 1,000 people, and let's say 10% of those people, because they're true fans, want to buy from you. That's 100 people, and you take 5K off all of those people. That means if you charge 100 people 5K, that's 500K. That's $500,000 from an audience that truly believes in you. So that's content that sells. That's what I teach my clients to do. And then step 3 is scaling the offer with a reliable and predictable sales system. Then you can't lose. You really can't lose. This is how we do it. This is how you design. This is how when I work with my clients, it's how we design, sell, and scale your 2 to 6K product. That is productizing yourself. And the proof's there. The proof's in the pudding. You know, it's not like these people are special. You know, maybe they have a strong work ethic and maybe they take action. That does make them special in my book. To me, that's special when somebody is an action taker. I only work with action takers now because it makes life so much easier. But once you implement the 3-hour system, and I call it the 3-hour system, by the way, because once you set it up, it should only take 3 hours a day to run. You don't have to work 3 hours a day. You can work more if you like. I often like to work more hours if it feels right. Sometimes I work 1 or 2. It doesn't matter. But it takes 3 hours a day to run it on the average day, on any given weekday, right? Or work day. Which means you still have time to do things you love. You still have time to go surfing. You still have time, well, this is me. You still have time to enjoy your life. Still have time to make plans and spend time with loved ones and do stuff that actually fills your cup outside of working. So 10K a month is hard until you productize yourself. But if you productize yourself, it becomes easy. You have, let's say, I'll go back to that example. You have one 5K product. You build it once. All you need is 2 clients a month to hit 10K. And then you're consistently making 10K. Once the product's built, it's infinitely scalable and it doesn't require you to be there. Maybe you turn up a few times a week just to show your face and just to be present with people. It's not like you're going to do nothing here. It's not like you're just going to be like, build it and then disappear and then you fly to Barbados and you never talk to anyone again. But that's why I say it only takes 3 hours a day to fulfill and to scale. And if you want to go harder and scale it faster, you just work more hours, fine. But at least you'll be working on the right things. And then you only need 1,000 true fans. Matt did that 20K week with just 2,000 followers. He's got more followers now because he's been building. And since we stopped working together, I think recently he picked it back up. He had a 40K week. Sorry, that's bollocks. He didn't have a 40K week. He made $40,000 in 4 months. Where did that come from? 40K weeks though are not unusual once you're able to productize yourself, because if you have a 5K offer and you get 8 clients, that's a 40K week. This is why it's so scalable. So, not only is 10K a month hard until you productize yourself, 10K a month is easy once you productize yourself. So you don't need the biggest audience in the world. You just need the right model. That's it. And that's what productize yourself is all about. So if you are interested in implementing the 3-hour system and scaling past 10K a month, productizing yourself, packaging up your knowledge so you can sell and scale a 2K product, a 2 to 6K product, so you can get results like Connor, so you can get results like Matt, so you can get results like myself and dozens of other people that I've helped, then there's a link down below to apply to work with me. It's just a straight up book a call link. You book a call with me. Maybe you're thinking, maybe you're on the fence right now. You're like, oh, I like the idea of this and I want to talk to Dan, but I'm not ready to just like go all in just yet. That's fine. Just still book a call. We can just talk. It's just going to be a 45-minute chat with me. Depending on when you're watching this, it might also be one of my team members. And we'll basically see if the 3-hour system would work for you and if you're actually in a position to do this. My bet is if you have a skill or experience running a business, you have valuable knowledge that you can start selling today for 2 to 6K a pop. And we'll show you how to do everything. We'll show you how to build the offer. We'll show you how to sell the offer, how to get people into your world, how to attract customers and clients that pay you that money. And then finally, how to scale it. It's all there. It's ready for you. So if you are interested in having a chat about that, there's a link down below. Click that, find a time that works. And that's it. That's it for today. Productize yourself. That's all I've got to say. Productize yourself and put life on easy mode so you can enjoy the freedom so you can get paid to make videos like this, so you can make 10K a month seem very, very easy and straightforward. And hopefully I'll see you on the call. If not, don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate you watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.